Hi Dorothy, this is your sequence for hip flexors and outer thigh IT band. We're going to start with a chair sit with a block. A foam block is best. I'm using it at its most narrow width. It's going to go right between the thighs. I'm going to turn sideways just so that you can see a little bit better. Walk the feet in as close as you can. You've got a little bit of a squeeze on the block already naturally. As you sit back in a chair pose, sending the hips back as if you're sitting in a chair. Don't let the chest drop. So as I sit as deep back as I can and as far back as I can, I'm keeping my chest reaching forward, my gaze is forward. As I come up, I'm going to squeeze the block as tight as I can. So again, sitting back, inhalation, exhalation comes right back up. So you'll do 5 of those. Now we're going to go into high lunge. 2 blocks is the best way to work with high lunge. So I can use the low level, the medium level, or the high level. How do you know which one to use? It all depends on what's going on with your upper body. If your upper body looks like this, then the high level is going to be best for you so that you can have enough support to roll the shoulder heads back and draw the chest forward. The other thing you want to think about is keeping your front knee over your front ankle. You don't want it to be behind it, and you don't want it to be in front of the ankle. So right over the ankle. So from our high lunge, once we're in form, you're going to lower the back knee almost to the ground. This is your inhalation. As you exhale, gas pedal that heel until the back leg straightens. You're going to get a really nice stretch in the front of that hip. Inhale, lower almost to the ground. Exhale, push through the heel to straighten 5 times. Switching sides, you'll just come into forward fold and switch to high lunge. Set up, make sure you're in proper form right off the bat. So aligning the knee, shoulders back, chest forward, belly in, lower the knee, inhale, exhale, pedal the heel 5 times. Then we'll move into low lunge, tucking the back toes, lowering the back knee. Now what happens sometimes in low lunge is we tend to shift our weight back. I want you to keep your weight forward even more so than before. So it's okay now if this knee goes in front of the ankle because we don't have weight on that leg. We're resting on the back knee. I'm going to use the blocks again to roll the shoulder heads back and really open the front of that hip flexor, drawing the belly in. 5 breaths in your low lunge. Then switch to the other side by coming back to high lunge, forward fold, high lunge on the opposite side, lower the knee, flatten the foot. The hips come forward, the chest reaches forward, belly's drawing in and up, opening the hip flexors. 5 breaths here. Back to forward fold and come on up. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to use a wall. So here we are at a wall. If you don't have an open wall, you could use the back of a sofa, but you want something stable. I'm going to face the wall, placing my hands at the wall or the sofa, stepping my feet together, sitting back into my chair pose, again, just like we did before, except this time I've got the wall to help me. So this is where we're coming to, but we're going to do a single leg one. So I'm going to lift my left leg, cross my ankle over the front of that thigh. This is what it looks like from the front view. Then I'm going to sit back into the hips just like I did before. The further back I get the hips and the further down I sit into my knee, opening this knee towards the ground without doing anything funky in my hips. They're going to stay facing forward. I can use the wall to square myself off here. The further back I sit, the more my heart comes forward, the more I'm going to feel the stretch on the outer thigh. 8 to 10 breaths. You might fatigue before that and stop at that point. Same thing on the other side. Cross out, sit back, open the knee to the ground without twisting the hips. Keep everything squared off. The further back, the deeper you can sit, the more of a stretch you're going to get. Okay, so the last 2 parts of your sequence, we're going to come onto our backs and go into a supported bridge pose to actually stretch the front of the hip flexors. So I can use the block at its lowest level. I wouldn't use it up any higher. Use it at its lowest level. You're going to place it underneath the bump How do you know if it's in the right place? If you lift your legs and you're stable, it's in the right place. So from here, I'm going to draw one knee into the chest. I can hold behind that thigh to keep it in. I'm not bringing it tight into the chest. I'm just holding it here in a natural place so that my pelvis stays stable. I'm going to draw my belly down to my spine and up towards my heart, hollowing out the abs, and send the opposite heel forward. Now, as that opposite leg is reaching away, now I can draw this in just a little bit more and press this thigh towards the ground. Nice big opening. 5 breaths. Opposite side, hold behind the thigh, stabilize the pelvis by drawing the belly in and up, and send the opposite heel away from you. Notice it's touching the ground. Not only is my heel reaching away, but my thigh is pressing down towards the ground. And again, 5 breaths here. Big opening for the hip flexors. Then, the final stretch is a figure 4 stretch. Similar to what we did when we were standing at the wall, crossing one ankle over the top of the opposite thigh. Step one is just to open the knee away without moving the hips. This is similar to what we did at the wall. So I'm pressing that knee not with my hand, but with my inner thigh, keeping my hips stable. After about 2 breaths, now I can go into the full pose. I'm going to bring this leg in towards me, as tight as I can bring it in. But the tighter I bring it in, the more the opposite knee is going to come in towards me if I'm tight. So I'm going to press that knee away, pull the opposite knee in. I like to connect to my breath. I inhale to press and open the right knee. I exhale to draw the left knee in. 5 breaths on this side. Same thing on the other side. 2 breaths here, pressing, and then bring it in. Hold the right knee in, open the left knee away from you. The tighter you are, the harder it's going to be to actually open that knee up. And then finishing in a supported Shavasana, you can use your blocks underneath your legs, a blanket or a bolster, and resting here for at least 10 breaths. And that is your customized sequence. Thanks, Dorothy.